Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm making some little coasters. They could also be used as ornaments if you add a little ribbon to the top. Let's get started. Here are the little coasters that I'm making today, and these could also be turned into an ornament. I began with this diamond shaped template, and I made some smaller diamonds using that to begin with, but I didn't really like the diamond as much as these little coasters made with more of a kite shape. So I did draw a different template and I cut it out of cardboard, and I cut my kite pieces using little scraps of fabric. When using a cardboard template, you do need to be just a little bit careful with that cardboard. Sometimes your blade wants to cut through the cardboard, and oftentimes I will put a ruler on top, a clear ruler on top of that cardboard, but this time I was just real careful to cut right next to the edge of my little template here. When I had 3 red and 3 cream kite shapes, I alternated the colors, and I'll be sewing the top 3 together and then the bottom 3. When both of my pieces were complete, I put them right sides together, and I tried to be careful to get that center point lined up with a pin. Now I'm able to press my little star. I just tried to be careful not to stretch it out too much. All of those edges, most of those edges are on the bias and tend to stretch out. I also cut myself a star shape that's just a tiny bit smaller than the pieced star, so that the batting is a tiny bit smaller. That will help my seams not be too full of batting. And so I'm going to cut this star shape. I will have a pattern in my Etsy shop with both the kite shape and this star shape, so that if you would like to order a paper pattern, that will be in my Etsy shop. It's an instant download, so you order and then you print it on your printer at home. Now I'm going to quilt these 2 layers, and I'm going to just follow the seams and try to stitch in the ditch and hide that quilting line. You could also add quilting lines through the center of those kites. I think that would look nice, or you could also do some hand stitching for the quilting lines. All of that would be really nice. my little star was quilted, I got some pieces for my backing, and this is a 3.5-inch strip, and I need 2 strips for each star, and I have a longer strip, but I think the strip needs to be about 6.5 inches long to cover the back of this star. I sewed for about 2 inches along the seam, and then I stopped. I left an opening, and then I'm going to sew the last 2 or 3 inches. So there will be a seam with an opening right in the middle, and that is where I will turn my star right side out after I have attached the backing to the front of my star. Before I attach the two together, I pressed that seam so that when I go to hand stitch that opening closed, it will be all ready to go. I sewed all the way around my star. I trimmed off the points a little bit and clipped the corners, and now I'm going to turn it right side out. I'll use that little white tool to poke the star points out, and then I will press, and last but not least, I will hand stitch that opening closed. This is a fun little pattern. I'm going to pack 4 of these up for a gift, and these would, like I said, make really nice ornaments if you just insert a little ribbon to the top of one of those points. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.